Obviously, you know who Jake Paul is.
Oh no, you've been watching Jake Paul, dude.
No, I watch him box. Have you seen any of his boxing
I've
matches?
heard about. I haven't actually watched him, but I've heard a lot of. I heard he said he has brain damage now from it, which is pretty funny.
Huh. You know what's... I wouldn't be surprised. I would actually... It's probably like... I don't know, maybe it could do him some good, because I feel like he had brain damage before.
For sure. For sure.
But, like, he's a piece of shit. I think he's a really bad person. But whenever he boxes, I root for him, like, so fucking hard. And I think it's because everybody just wants to see him get knocked out. And I want to see him keep winning. Because it makes people so mad.
Fucking
But he
chaotic
just won, like, last night.
Who do you win against?
Tyrone Woodley, he's an MMA fighter.
That had to be rigged. They had to
Oh my,
fucking. He had to throne.
no, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. He literally knocked him out, and the punch, like, it was, you could hear it. It was so solid.
I refuse to believe that it was a real match.
Oh my god, he's knocked out like 4 people now. Or not 4 people. He's fought Tyrone Woodley twice and knocked him out twice, and then he's knocked out 2 other opponents.
I refuse to believe it's a real match.
He's strong as fuck.
Yeah, he is a pretty built dude, but like...
Yeah.
I refuse to believe it still.
Oh, you hater.
Yeah, I'm a fucking Jake Paul, or Logan Paul? You just said his
Jake.
name. Jake.
It was Jake, yeah.
Is he the same one that went to the suicide force in Japan?
No, that was Logan.
Okay.
Jake's the younger, stupider one.
Okay, but I think he's the less piece of shit one, but I could be wrong about that.
No, yeah. Logan, like, really matured, actually, and is, like, super cool now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh, you know
and
what?
then Jake is kind of the piece of shit.
He's still, like, the young idiot.
Yeah. But, oh my god, I want him to be a boxer so bad, like, for real.
He might do it. I mean, he's probably making bank.
Oh, yeah,
Can't blame the guy for that.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with Floyd Mayweather was just like, hey, we can
both make
a lot of money from this. Oh, that was Logan? Okay.
Yeah, that was Logan.
They're both the same person to me.
Are they?
I can never, like, I got a present. Hey, dude, it's fucking... I got
it's,
a Christmas present,
yeah,
dude.
it's the Christmas thing.
I got it whenever you get in here. Happy Kringle Day.
Happy
Christopher Kringle.
Christopher Kringle.
What is this thing? Oh, they got little ribbons on them, dude. That's awesome.
What, the presents? Oh, the slimes?
Yeah, the slimes.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say something. What was it? I forgot.
You know, my grandma says that must have been a lie.
What?
Every time you forget what you're gonna say.
Oh, really?
She would always say it must have been a lie.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
It's doing that weird thing where I can't join.
Oh, really? Here, let me,
Yeah.
Let me just quit and come back.
Okay. Also, sorry about the fan. I have to have it on to dry this, like, I don't know, tar stuff he put up around my door.
Tar?
I don't know if you can even hear it.
Only when you're talking.
Oh,
it's like
well, yeah.
There. It just sounds like your mic's less good quality than usual. But you still have a good mic, so it's like, it's normal.
It's okay. It's bearable.
It's like, I wouldn't have even, like, in the back of my head, I was like, I was actually going to ask you if you had a different mic plugged in, but I was like, no,
yeah.
It still sounds good. No, it's not letting me host
No, it's just that. Oh, weird.
And this last paycheck, I think this last paycheck was the last one I'm getting, because, like, yeah, it definitely is. It was fucking nice. And I signed up for Chime. Which, like, if your friend refers you to Chime, you both get $100. So I got an extra $100 too. So I was like, hell yeah.
Well, that's nice.
I can retire on that for a little bit.
Chime referrals.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask like a bunch of people, hey, you know, the server's up by the way. I don't know if it's gonna let you join or not. I was like, hey, join this Chime. I'll send you a referral link. We'll both make $100.
What is it?
It's like a bank. It's like an online bank. And honestly, I don't know if I trust it. Like I don't think I'm gonna use it in my next job. I mean, I didn't have. Actually, I had a good experience. It could have been a bad experience. It was user error 100%. Where it kind of was, kind of wasn't. So I tried to link it to my Chase bank so I could transfer the money to Chase. And you know, when you link your banks on like a mobile app, you just sign in. It basically just you click the button, it takes you to your Chase app, and you can just sign in. And I did all that, and then I clicked like my checking account, and the numbers matched and all that. And I did it, but I didn't double check when I went to transfer the money, right? And I didn't notice it till today, this morning actually, or this morning, like 2 hours ago. Like fucking 3 in the afternoon when I woke up. It said the last 4 numbers were different. Oh, you joined, nice. Yeah. So the account number was different. So I was like, oh shit, I just transferred all my fucking money that I have right now, basically, to some random person's account. Great. So I basically gave up instantly. I was like, alright, I'm not getting that money back. And then I was like, nah, let me not give up that easily. I'll call Chime, see what they tell me. I know it's gonna be some bullshit. Because I've just had so many bad experiences with like calling, you know, any company. I was like, okay, I'll do this. Maybe I'll call Chase. Maybe we can figure something out, but probably not. I went really, really pessimistic about it. And then it turned out they were like, yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry about the error, but you know, the account number that you tried to transfer to doesn't exist.
Oh.
So it's basically just in limbo. And that's not the word they use, but it's like it's unrecognized transaction or something. And so they instantly, the money was already back in my account now. They instantly fucking transferred it back. I was like, oh, cool.
Nice.
It was like a 10-minute call. Here, I want to.
Yeah.
Here's a Merry Christmas, buddy.
Oh, thank you. I got eggnog. Would you like one?
Yeah.
Here. Drink.
Cheers. Nice.
Cheers.
But yeah, it was honestly, for banks, it was a pretty decent little customer service. Like, it wasn't bad. I had to wait like 7 or 8 minutes, but it's a Sunday afternoon.
Right, that's not bad at all.
So it's like, you know, yeah, you're gonna wait. Like you're gonna wait with like a major bank, even. So it's not like unheard of to wait for like calls like that.
No, yeah, not at all.
And I instantly got my money back. I got lucky. But I don't understand. I mean, I say it was user error partially because, like, sure, I didn't double check before I transferred the money. But when I linked the accounts, I was 100% certain. Not one of those things like I was certain, but I wasn't. Like, I was certain that it was my account because I logged in. It was the same last 4 of my current account. It even shows you your balance, and it was the same balance.
That's weird.
But I guess because it goes through a third-party thing called Played, which I guess is pretty fucking fitting because I almost got fucking played. But I don't know. I think it was just, I don't know. I couldn't find anyone else having the same issue, so it was probably just something I did.
Yeah, maybe. That is weird though.
I mean, you know, if I had just checked, like, hey, that's not the same last 4 of my checking account.
Right.
But I assumed that because I already knew, I don't know. It worked out though. I got lucky.
Yeah, that was
because
nice
that could have been a fucking nightmare. That could have been like over. I could have lost all that money. That could have. Oh well, it's in someone else's account.
Yeah.
If you can get in contact with that person, maybe if they send it back to you.
Maybe they'll send it back.
That's what I was thinking was gonna happen. I was like, okay, so some schmuck just got fucking $700. Good for them.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, I guess. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was you. Oh my gosh. It was a zombie.
No. I'm gonna join Rojo team. Rojo.
What's that? Red?
Red in Spanish.
I'm gardening. I don't know where to go from here, to be honest.
I mean, we just have to get better and fight bosses because we were getting our asses kicked.
I know, but like, what weapon do I need to be better?
You have full bullshit armor, right?
Yeah.
I need that as well. Because if I'm not dying every 20 seconds more fighting it, we'll have a better chance. I feel like you have a mini shark, right?
I have a mini, but it just... No, it doesn't seem to be doing much.
And you're using the best kind of ammo?
I am using... No, I'm using silver bullets. I could probably make, like, the cursed ones, I guess, since we're in, whatever. Corrupt.
Time to go mining. should have
That's
done
what we
some of
always
this
do.
on my own.
That's fine. This is what Terraria is about. Just mining your life away.
Mining and crafting. It reminds me of
Mining
another
and
game. Super Mario, that's the one.
Oh yeah. Very, very similar.
Dude, I went to see fucking. I know you don't care about superhero movies and shit. I don't think you do.
Uh-huh.
At least. But I went to see
Not
the new
really.
fucking Spider-Man, dude.
Uh-huh.
And oh my god, the 10-year-old child in me fucking was going crazy the entire time, dude. It was kind of
Were you?
embarrassing. I wasn't like screaming or nothing. Oh, I was a little bit, but
You were
everyone was.
close to it?
I mean, it's one of those like with Marvel movies, it's either dead silent in the theater because like the movie's like decent or bad, or it's like people losing their fucking shit. Like, do you know anything about the Marvel movies?
Honestly, no.
Well, like the biggest like Marvel movie that came out was Endgame. Infinity War and Endgame, they were a two-parter, so like a year apart. And like the first Infinity War ended with like a cliffhanger, like all the fucking heroes. I mean, you don't, you're not gonna watch them, right? Like all the like half the heroes fucking die pretty much. And it was just like people were losing their shit. And fucking Spider-Man died, and it was so sad. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then like the next part was like you know, they have to like use these magic fucking space stones nonsense to
Oh yeah, I know about that.
yeah. And so like it was just like fucking hype, and people were like, and then like in the
I was
last
kind of
one,
rooting for Thanos.
honestly,
Or however you say it.
yeah, honestly, I mean, you know, he's not exactly wrong. It's one of those things
Right.
like he's not exactly wrong. But yeah, we're fucking. It's always like recent movies have always been like humanity is fucking up the earth, and that was kind of like the message for that one too. It's like, yeah, we're overpopulated and using all of our resources. Not gonna say that, you know, genocide's the way to go, but at least he was trying to do something about it. All right.
At least he was doing something. Yeah.
All right, he wasn't fucking just sitting around waiting.
Yeah. At least he was trying.
He was the start of a new era because like all these movies have been like notoriously like the villain's just like a one-dimensional character.
But
like he was kind of the start of like this era where like now a lot of the villains are like compelling characters.
Oh, that's nice. I love that.
And like there's still like the occasional.
Yeah.
Like the one before that, which people praised. Which is a good movie, Thor Ragnarok. It was a good movie, but like the villain was like, in my opinion, the most one-dimensional villain we've had.
Oh, really?
Like straight up, she's the goddess of death, and it's like that could be cool, but like it's a Marvel movie,
Right.
and it's the goddess of death, so like her whole thing is she wants death and destruction. Like the most like one-dimensional villain we've had, and that was like right before these like Thanos movies.
Right.
But like oh my god, dude, and fucking Spider-Man, right? So you know how there's been like a bunch of different Spider-Man movie series, like you know, like the ones from like the early 2000s with Tobey Maguire and shit. And then there's like the ones that a lot of people don't like, which I think are fine, with Andrew Garfield from like 2012. And so like this current one is Tom Holland. He's the third. He's the one that's actually by Marvel. Like the other ones were by Sony. And so basically the whole thing with this one was like, in the last Spider-Man movie, he fought Mysterio, which is like, you know, you probably know. You might not. I don't know. I don't know if you know shit about any of that stuff. Have you heard of Mysterio at all?
I've heard of Mysterio.
He's always like the he always does some crazy shit in the comics, in the animated shows and shit. And what he did in this one was he basically like, with his death, Spider-Man killed him. Like he wasn't trying to, but it's one of those things like the hero usually doesn't try to kill the villain. But they end up doing it, or the villain gets himself killed. But like, he basically like was recording with like drones, and he like, I don't know how he did it after death. I guess he had like some pretty good AIs on the shit. I don't know. Basically, like, after he died, actually, my theory is that he's not fucking dead because it's Mysterio. Mysterio never dies when he supposedly dies. But so he might not be dead. But anyway, he fucking outed Spider-Man's identity. Like he was like, and he sent it to, and they finally brought J. Jonah Jameson into it, which was fucking awesome. And he was played by the same actor who played him in the Tobey. Did you ever watch the ones from back then, the old Spider-Man movies, like the early 2000s?
I didn't know.
Okay. Well, they brought back like the reporter guy who's always like against Spider-Man, and it was the same actor, and it was fucking. It was J.K.
I heard
Simmons.
that all three actors were in it, like all three Spider-Man.
Yeah. So basically, like Peter tries, like he goes to, like some fucking wizard, because like it's Marvel, there's wizards or whatever. It's the most ridiculous shit. He goes to me, he's like, "Hey, can we do a spell that can make people forget who I am?" But I don't want my friend to forget, and I don't want my girlfriend to forget, and my aunt definitely shouldn't forget. It's like, okay, and then he's like, basically everyone who knows everyone who should know I'm me. I forget how he words it. It's like everyone who should know that I'm me should not forget. And like as he's like, "Hey, Christmas trees."
Yes.
What the fuck? Did you plant these?
I got that from the presents. You can like build them.
Oh shit, dude.
If you like take them down, you can reshape them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And so he's basically like, everyone who should know I'm me shouldn't forget, or some shit like that. And like he just the wizard, he's like saying all this shit to the wizard at once, and he's like, the wizard's just doing too much at once, and so the spell gets fucked up. Thank you. We need that.
We do.
I'm done caring about corruption.
We need all three. Well, because we need to get to the one. And okay, so what were you saying?
So basically, the spell fucks up, and it like affects the multiverse, and it's like every villain, basically everyone who knew Spider-Man from the other movies, essentially, because like there's like they kind of like hint that it's other characters that weren't in movies, but just for like it's a fan service movie. Like at the end of the day, it's a Spider-Man fucking fan service movie, so it's only gonna be characters from past movies, just for like convenience sake.
Right.
And they don't want to introduce, like, they already have they've had more villains in this than probably any other Marvel movie, and they don't want to introduce like a bunch of new characters. Like defeats the purpose. So basically, like some of the famous villains from the past movies, because they know Spider-Man. It's like basically the spell fucks up, and it's like anyone who knew me should remember, but because the spell doesn't know how to like account for other multiverses, it just brings them there pretty much.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it's like, imagine like you're a child, a young boy playing with this fucking action figures, and you're just like bringing in different toys that don't make sense, like, but you're just a kid, you don't care. It's just like that. It's just like a bunch of fucking dudes fighting each other that shouldn't be fighting each other. It was just pure like nostalgia. Like they just like milked me for my nostalgia. That's essentially what happened.
Yeah, they did. But that's fun.
And I applaud them for it because they did it well.
Yeah.
And it was like, and not only was it wasn't just like, oh, the action was cool. It was a fucking sad movie, dude. Like,
was it? Oh,
yeah, nice. It was sad. Like there were sad parts.
Actually good writing.
Yeah, like the Spider-Man movies, these three. I'll argue. People can argue with the other ones. I mean, honestly, like the ones for 2002, they were pretty fucking corny, and they were kind of supposed to be their comic book movies in the early 2000s. Like they weren't trying to take themselves super serious yet.
Right.
And so they were corny as shit, and my brother hates on them for them. Like, dude, you love the X-Men movies from the same era and the same level,
right?
Arguably more corny in certain aspects, but it you know, it's whatever. But what was I saying? No, like, but like the writing is like, it's not like it doesn't take itself, like these Marvel movies never take themselves 100% serious all the time. There's always like quips, like one-liners and shit. Cause they're still like action. They're still
action movies.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be like fun. Like the problem with like the DC movies that have been coming out is like they're all like super depressing.
Yeah.
And Marvel's like, we're not trying to bum our audience out every time
they
come to we want our audience to have a good time and can coming back to buy more tickets. That's the reason behind it, but shitty reasons can still breed good products sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so like, but when the movie takes itself serious, like these last three, like this current trilogy, this is like the third one in the trilogy. Ow, I'm gonna die in lava.
Don't do that.
2, 1. Oh, dude, I was spamming the hill button, and I had 1 second.
Yeah. What were you saying?
Like, the fucking ant dies. Like, he always has Aunt May, and Aunt May usually dies in these eventually. And they skipped Uncle Ben. Like, do you know, like, with great power comes great responsibility thing? Yeah, like, they skipped that in these movies because we've seen it fucking 3 times now. Or this would have been the 3rd time if they had done it again. Right, so they just basically skipped, like, they skipped the whole Uncle Ben thing, which some people were pissed off about. It's like, dude, we've seen it twice. Go watch the other ones. Like, I understand why people were upset about it, because it's a pivotal part of his character. But it's okay, because they fucking did it in this movie with Aunt May dying.
Right.
And the MA dies, and she's the one that says it in these, which was fucking perfect. And it's because like one of my gripes with these movies, this set of Spider-Man movies, has been like he's kind of handed shit. Like he's not introduced in the Marvel universe in these movies. Like usually heroes either introduced in one of two ways in these movies. They get a standalone movie, and that's how they like Iron Man. You know, he was introduced in Iron Man, or they're introduced in another like crossover like Avengers movie. Like Black Panther was introduced actually in the same movie that Spider-Man was in the Avengers Civil War movie. And like they just introduced like both those characters in that movie. And so Spider-Man never really had like his proper introduction because people have seen it a million times. Like they know people don't care to see it again. And like when he was introduced in that movie, it was just for like a minute. Like it was just to like hype up. I mean, it's all hype and selling tickets, but it's still, if done right, it can be done right sometimes. And sometimes you're like, okay, thanks, I guess I don't really care. And sometimes you're like, oh, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It kind of just depends on preference at that point. And you know, as a Spider-Man fanatic, I was like, let's fucking go. It was like in 2016. I was fucking, and the movie came out the next year, the first one, and they didn't do like the Uncle, like he was already, like usually like these movies start out with like normal Peter Parker gets his powers, you know, but this one it was like it started out like the first scene was like Spider-Man doing Spider-Man shit, which you never see in a first Spider-Man movie. And so it was already like it was already different. I keep fucking dying. What are you working on?
I was looking at our stuff, and I made I don't know. I made this thing that sees.
This what?
It does like shows rare creatures. It shows enemies, and also I don't know where I am. I just put some stuff together.
Oh, so it does all those in one item?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
How did I do it? It was the tally counter, which we have a ton of. A radar, and do you have a life form analyzer?
I have a metal detector, depth meter. I have 2 metal detectors for some reason. No, I don't think I have. I mean, you said we have plenty of tally counters. I don't have a life form analyzer on me.
The life form analyzer, that's probably the most important part.
Okay.
Because I don't think we have that here. I've been looking through the chest for another one. And also I sold some stuff that we don't need.
Okay. I'm putting. You didn't just make this chest plate, did you?
No.
You found it?
It was in the chest.
Okay, yeah, because I'm waiting till I have the full set. Because I
to wear it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my bonus I have right now. Which chest?
We don't need 4 Shields of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Clogging up our chests.
No, but this was basically like what a first Spider-Man movie usually is in these trilogies, or in these. I mean, there's been one. This is the second trilogy. The guy in the middle only had 2 movies. But like it did all the stuff like you usually have in the first one. Like he like, because usually like so Iron Man brings him into the Avengers essentially. Like he's not actually part of it, but he's like kind of. He's like an honorary member. And so like from the start, he goes from like the first time you see him, he has like his shitty handmade suit. And then after that, in every movie, he has like one of the Iron Man high-tech ass suits. Which was always kind of one of my problems with it too. It's like we're not getting Spider-Man, like he's supposed to be some poor dude, like some broke dude, you know, working, going to college, and doing Spider-Man shit all at once. And in these, it's always been like, yeah, he's poor, but like Tony Stark, one of the richest fuckers all around, is like basically like his adopted parent in a sense.
Right.
Like he doesn't live with him, but he's like, you know, they're not struggling. Like if Peter brings up like, hey, you know, we're rent or something, it's like, you know, Tony Stark's fucking got him. I wouldn't be surprised if like a joke happens at some point. So yeah, Tony Stark used to pay our rent for us every month.
Right. Yeah.
But fuck off. But now it's like Tony died in the Endgame, in the big Avengers movie, so he's gone. And that happened before the second Spider-Man movie. So the second one's about like, oh, Tony's dead, you know, I lost an important figure in my life again, blah blah blah. But he still has like some of the Stark stuff, some of like the Iron Man stuff with him, like he still has the nice suits and all that. And then at the end of that one, he gets outed, and he like the Mysterio, who's usually a villain, but like a lot of times he fools people into thinking he's a hero. And that's what happened in this. Like, basically it's like Spider-Man killed a beloved hero. And so it's like he's like everyone knows who he is. They know where he lives. The first 20 minutes of the movie were fucking intense because it was like he tried to run away from like paparazzi and shit, and like cops were chasing him kind of, like the FBI and a bunch of shit. And then they go under investigation. And during that, he loses most of his fancy shit. So he's kind of back to square one. Like he just has like a normal suit.
Oh, so they're kind of doing like a reverse.
Yeah, they kind of reversed it in a way.
Yeah.
And now it's even more so because like at the end of it all, like the aunt dies. There are 4 people, or 5, I guess, probably more, but like 5 that matter. 5 people that knew who he was. Like his aunt, his best friend, his girlfriend, the wizard dude, who like kind of like was sad to like he kind of like cried a little bit when he's like, it was nice knowing you, kid. Like, because basically what happens at the end is like the spell gets contained that's bringing in all these villains from different universes that know Spider-Man, but at the end like the spell starts shattering, and so it's like villains from like other shit that like other like even like not just from the movies, like villains like from the comics and shit that are just like basically like Spider-Man has like the biggest array of villains in all of Marvel, and so it's basically like as a fan you kind of know like, yeah, all these different versions, like they had trouble. 3 Spider-Man had trouble fighting 5 of these motherfuckers. And then the other 2 Spider-Man are done. Like, they're fucking... Like, one of them gets stabbed near the end. So he's not dead, but he's like... he's... Like, the fighting's done. Like, they're all too tired. And then, like, reality starts shattering. And it's like dozens, if not hundreds, or more of these guys are going to start popping up. And the only way to reverse it is basically do what the original spell was intended to do. Have everyone forget who Spider-Man is. Like even like the wizard who's casting it, there's no more like, okay, these people can still remember pretty much. And so he has like this heartfelt moment with like the wizard. I keep calling him the wizard. But like, and like his girlfriend and his best friend, and it's just like, I'll come find you guys after. Like, you gotta forget who I am, but I'll promise I'll come find you guys and all this shit. And then there's this really sad moment where he's like, he tells the girlfriend that he loves her. He's like, but don't say it back, because I want the next time you say it to be like, when you remember who I am or whatever.
Aww.
Oh my god, dude. And then, like so like the spell works and all that shit. And then he goes to like where the coffee shop that she works at. And like there's just this moment of like he like talks to her, but it's like it gives off stalker vibes almost, because it's just like this person who doesn't fucking know her, like staring at her, like because he just doesn't know like how to fucking act. He doesn't know what to say, and so like she's just kind of like, she's not like weirded out completely, but she's like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude? She's probably thinking like, do I need to call the cops? Like, what's going on here?
Right.
And then he just decides basically like he sees like his best friend walk in. And they're excited about going into college, because like another thing is like they couldn't get into college because they like not only did they know, everyone knew who Spider-Man was, they knew like his girl, because everyone knew, or not everyone, but like it's social media and shit, you could figure out pretty quick like who Peter was dating and his best friend and all that. And so like they're like also their lives are getting fucked up too by all this. And that's why he actually goes to do the spell. It's because like he doesn't really care about his shit, but he wants like his friends and his family to like be able to like live normal lives. And they couldn't get into college because like it was like due to recent controversies. Because like the whole, it's like it makes sense. Like you like some shit like that happens in real life, you probably wouldn't be able to get into college. Like it would just be too controversial. And so after the spell works at the end, they get into college and they're talking about how happy they are and all this shit. Like in the back of the coffee shop, you can hear them. They're like excited to go to college and shit. And so he just leaves. He just decides not to even like. He's just like, he makes like. He goes from like the kid, like because every Spider-Man movie starts with like the kid Peter, and then like ends with every first Spider-Man movie. And by the end of it, they make like a mature choice, and he never really got his like matured. Well, actually, he kind of did in the first one, because he chose not to join the Avengers. He just wanted to stay like on his own, which is kind of like a mature choice. But like, this is like his first like. He's just like, okay, no, they just need to live their lives. Like everything that's fucked up about. That's happened to them is because of me type shit. And so he just decides to leave. And so like it ends with like how usually a first Spider-Man movie ends. He's like in his own apartment, he has a job, he's paying rent, And so basically they essentially have set up that he's going to be like normal Spider-Man in the next one, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
Like, no more handouts, no more like going to a wizard for help, no more going to a billionaire for help.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm just a fucking Spider-Man nerd. And, like, so many things happen in this movie. Like, there's so many memes. Like, have you seen the meme? It's like, I'm a bit of a scientist myself. It's like from the first Spider-Man movie. The bad guy says it. It's like, I'm a bit of a scientist myself. And like he fucking says it in this movie and shit. It's just like stupid shit like that. Like,
Right.
it's just so much like fan service, but like I ate it all up.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
That's
good. When did you go see it?
Last night.
Oh, okay.
It came out 2 days ago, and I had gotten spoiled yesterday before I went to go see it.
Did you?
Like Aunt May's death was spoiled to me. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Aww.
Like when Avengers Endgame came out, like no one spoiled shit. It was just like this universal thing. Like the internet came together in like harmony, just once. Once every like 30 years, it's allowed to happen.
Yeah.
They came together like, no, we're not gonna spoil shit, but not for this one. And other people got spoiled worse. I only got spoiled by that. People got like straight up like saw screenshots of scenes that happened in the movie.
Oh really? That sucks.
Like,
have you seen? Stay offline during that. What?
Yeah, I tried to, and I just got on for like a little bit. And I was like, motherfuckers. It was a meme. It wasn't even like, it was just a fucking meme. Because like in the second Spider-Man, it's like I can't stop seeing his face everywhere, and it's Tony Stark because he died before that. Yeah. And it was just that, but it was her. It was Aunt May's face. I'm like, that's not even funny. Like, if you're gonna spoil me, at least make me laugh too.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even funny. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. That sucks.
But it was a bit. It wasn't. I mean, it was okay. Of all the spoilers I could have gotten, that was like the least, like, bad one.
Yeah. Was it? Her dying seems pretty.
It was important, but like, and it was sad, and it still hit. Like the moment still hit. I still I still cried a little bit. I was like, fuck. Yeah. Man, this shit's sad. Like the moment, it didn't completely ruin the moment. Oh, okay, like there's so many other things that like other people got spoiled on. Like they never confirmed that all these, and I already knew. Because I just thought about it. Like they never fully confirmed that the other two Spider-Man were gonna be in it. But you kind of figure like the actors even denied it. Like Andrew Garfield, he was like, "No, I'm not in, dude. I don't know what y'all keep talking about." And now it's like a running joke. Like I feel like it needs to be a running joke where he just needs to keep. I didn't know I was gonna die. He needs to keep denying being in the movie even after it's public.
Right.
He should just keep saying, like, "Dude, I was never in that movie. What are y'all on about?"
No.
I think that'd be the funniest shit.
Well, that sounds. I mean, I have I know some of that stuff because the son at work, the owner's son, like loves Spider-Man.
Oh, is he kind of talking
about it? Yeah, but he like I just hear him ranting to one of our waitresses also kind of like Spider-Man, so. He's just ranting to her about what happened. He seemed really excited about it too. So.
Dude, it was fucking great. People who don't like it kiss my fucking ass, dude. Like my friend Tristan, like he went to see it the day before me, and he was like, he called me up. He's like, because we were gonna go see it, because we couldn't see it together at first, because like work and shit. Well, we're gonna go see it on Christmas. It's like, dude, I'm gonna refund the fucking Christmas tickets. This movie was terrible. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen it yet, but I already know you're fucking wrong. Like, I don't care. I never go into movies expecting anything. Like I've been disappointed so many times. I just don't. Like I'm like, okay, it'll be a movie. Yeah. And if you go in with like little to no expectations, like it's hard to be disappointed. And that's been working for me recently because it's like I'll go in expecting, I'm going leaning towards the bad side. Oh, this probably won't be that good, but I'll still watch it. And they end up being really good. Like the Marvel movie before this one, Eternals was fucking amazing. I loved it. It was a lot of people didn't like it, but I fucking loved it. But
never heard of that one.
It's I mean, if you're not in like if you don't give a shit about the Marvel movies, besides maybe seeing an occasional trailer.
Yeah.
Especially Eternals, because comic fans are even like, why the fuck did they make an Eternals movie? It's so random. And they're like, it's gonna suck. And then like they said the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's a lot of people's favorite.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's fucking funny as shit. It's hilarious. Even if you don't care about Marvel movies, you should watch that at some point. It's just a funny movie. It's a funny
The
sci-fi space
Guardians
movie.
of the Galaxy one?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a fucking stupid ass talking raccoon. It's this and a talking tree. It's the dumbest shit ever, but it's just really funny. You don't even have to
It
really.
looks funny.
Yeah, it is, and you don't even really have to know much about or anything really. I mean, there's like a few references to the Marvel stuff. Actually, I say that the whole like third act kind of revolves around Marvel stuff. So never mind. But they explain it in the movie itself, so you don't have to like have prior
Watch
knowledge going
everything.
in.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot more of that recently, instead of like they try not to assume everyone's seen every single movie.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Because one problem that I think is going to be with the new Doctor Strange, because like it's been set up by literally 5 different fucking movies at this point, movies or TV shows. Because he's the wizard guy that does the spell, and that's gonna be a hard movie for people to watch, I think.
Oh, because
it's
prior
basically
knowledge and all that.
Yeah, it's like on the Wikipedia page it says prior to the events of Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, Loki, and WandaVision, and then it starts explaining like the basic synopsis of the movie. And you're just like, yeah, all that shit, and those are all like everyone who's watching Doctor Strange is gonna have seen Endgame, but that's the one that sets up the least. Like having seen all this shit, just 'cause like they happen to be shows and movies I wanted to watch, because I was like a Marvel, like I watched everything Marvel, but after Endgame, because it's kind of like it's like a good climax to what happened prior. Like it's like Endgame, it's the fucking like Tony Stark, the first Marvel hero, fucking dies in that one.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of the end. It's like an end and a new beginning in a sense.
Yeah.
And so after that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching the ones I want to watch, but I'm not gonna watch ones I don't want to watch anymore. Like I just don't care enough. Like I'm not excited for Thanos anymore because Thanos is done. And sure, the next villain if the next villain they're gonna set up is gonna be cool, then maybe. Actually, I already know who the next villain's gonna be. They've already started setting him up. They started. It's Kang the Conqueror, which is like just not knowing. I didn't know shit about Thanos going in either, but like having been explained a bit about him, it'll be cool. So I'll be watching some of these, but I'm not gonna watch every single, because now they're doing shows too. Like before, it was just movies, and you could watch like, you go if you really care enough, you could like catch up on a couple movies before going to see the new one. Yeah. Now it's like shows, like straight up like 8 to 10 hour shows, which I've watched.
You have to catch up for like a week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to fucking like, or just don't. Like that's what like. Half of them I watched because I watched the first episode of everything so far. First 2 episodes actually. No, I didn't watch the second episode of Hawkeye. And I didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is like just 2 dudes being dudes doing shit. Like it's just characters I didn't care about from the movies in their own show. I don't care. Like I'm sure people do, but I don't. I watched WandaVision because it was the concept. If the concept of the show catches me, I'll watch the entire thing, and usually it's been good. Like WandaVision's just fucking weird. Like it's just it's a witch. She's a witch lady, and I'm just gonna explain it how it is instead of trying to like simplify it, just to show you how ridiculous it is without context.
Okay.
Her synthetic human boyfriend fucking dies, right? So she goes insane and basically alters reality without knowing it. Because such a ridiculous. You don't know that's going in. Okay, I'll tell you what you know going in. What you know going in is that it's a Marvel 30s sitcom, which is the weirdest fucking thing. It's like I Love Lucy or some shit. It's like that's fucking weird. And you're just trying to figure out what happened. And so basically what happened is like, as a kid, she used to watch sitcoms with her family before they died. And so it's like an escape, right? And so basically, in her like, not knowing like, she doesn't know she does it. But like in her like subconscious, she basically alters reality of this town to be like a sitcom. And like, the AI boyfriend's there even though he's dead. So she basically like recreates him subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I don't know, it's just a cool concept to me. It sounds stupid as shit because it is, but like.
No, I actually think it sounds kind of cool.
I should have not spoiled it. Probably you can still enjoy it.
Oh no, I've heard some of it.
I've heard some of that before.
Yeah. So I mean, I honestly like this is horrible, but when I'm watching a show or even a movie, I like 90% of the time I will look up the ending as I'm watching it. So
I do that with certain things too.
do you?
Like if I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not, I'll do
Mm-hmm.
that. I'll do the same thing just to see like, is this a waste of my time or not?
Yeah. Even like I usually end up enjoying it more because I just like to know, and I don't know, it helps me. I can just relax and know the ending. I don't like to be tense.
Yeah.
I don't like tension.
See, I couldn't and didn't. Even if I could have, I wouldn't have. But the show was coming out weekly, so I didn't have that option. But I still wouldn't have for
Right,
this
yeah.
show in particular, just because like the premise alone, like you're like the whole point of enjoying the show, partially. I mean, you can. I haven't watched it having known everything yet. I'm sure you could still
Right.
enjoy it the same. But for me, the fun of it was like figuring out like, what the fuck is this? Like, is this like
Yeah.
a fever dream? And I kind of guessed part of it, and I kind of didn't.
Yeah.
I figured it
So it's
was.
revealed in the show, like by the end
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it,
it's revealed.
the season. Okay.
And I kind of guessed. I guess the aspect of it that I cared most about, which was like, yeah, she's fucking coping. She's coping without realizing it.
Yeah.
But I didn't guess um, to what extent. I thought
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like this whole town. I wasn't sure if she made a. I thought
Mhm.
she made a pocket like dimension or some shit. I thought she like
Mhm.
made all these people because there's people in the town that are like stuck in like this fucking hell. Like stuck.
Mhm.
Imagine being stuck in a sitcom. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're like laugh
Yeah.
tracks and everything, and you're just like, and you can't control. You can see what you're doing, but you can't control what you're doing. And you're
Right.
just living like life in like a badly written I Love Lucy episode, or it kind of goes through like different eras of sitcoms as the show progresses.
Mhm.
So like it goes from like, I Love Lucy to like Malcolm in the Middle, eventually, not like the next episode, but like it goes to like different decades of like sitcoms and shit.
Mhm. Well, that
But
sounds
like
pretty
the
cool.
one of the funnest parts of the shows, like a character would occasionally like start like sort of gaining control back and be, like crying out. Like
Uh
there's this
huh.
one part in the first episode where like, did you ever watch that '70s show?
Yes.
It's the mom from that '70s show, right?
Uh huh.
And she's just like, imagine her like her manic laugh,
Uh huh.
but it's like trapped, scared instead of like her usual like, like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
I
it's
do.
just yeah, so it's just like that, and it's just like this uncanny scene, and then it just fucking like the screen like flickers for a second, and she's gone,
Mm.
and Wanda's just like acting like nothing happened. It's just a bunch of that shit in the first few episodes until they start putting more pieces down into what's actually happening.
Right. Oh, that sounds cool.
And then the other show that I liked was Loki, which it's like Loki is just a cool character, like, not even in the MCU, just in general.
Yeah.
And even if it's not like, even if it's not like a Loki show, like a Loki from Norse gods, is more of like a Loki from Marvel's version of Norse entities because they're not really gods. You know what I mean? They're just space guys that, with powerful magic.
Right.
But it was still a cool. The character was enough for me to like, I'm gonna watch this. And even the premise of it was just made it good. Like the show could have been bad, I probably still would have watched it just for Loki.
Yeah.
But like the
I
premise,
like the actor for Loki.
yeah, Tom Hiddleston, yeah,
Yeah.
and he got to like, he's never got to like flex his acting muscles in this because he's like a theater actor, and in these he's usually
Mm-hmm.
just like either a bad guy or a morally gray guy. You know what I mean? Like he's doing like either villain shit or like morally ambiguous. How do you say that word?
Ambiguous.
Ambiguous shit.
Ambiguous.
Ambiguous, exactly.
Just kidding.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Welcome.
Yeah, I've been ranting for like an hour about this shit.
Oh, it's fine.
I'll just it's just the Marvel hype's gone mostly, but the Spider-Man hype is just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that just started.
It's fucking back. And Sony's been pumping out because like Spider-Man's like in a weird like divorced parent situation because like most of the Marvel movies are just owned by Marvel and Disney. So Disney. But I'm out of potions, dude. What the fuck? There we go. But Spider-Man was sold to Sony. The film rights were sold to Sony in the 90s because Marvel Comics was like going bankrupt. They sold Spider-Man to Sony and X-Men to Fox. They got X-Men. They bought Fox. Disney just straight up bought Fox, like, because fuck monopoly laws and all that shit.
Right.
And my brother wants them to buy Sony just for Spider-Man. I'm like, dude, no. I don't want every. We already have 90% of movies coming out are Disney now. I don't want every single. Like, I want Sony to be able to put out a non-Disney fucking movie.
Yeah. For once.
Yeah, but because Spider-Man is basically like custody shared between Sony and Marvel, and so like Sony gets to like distribute it, and Marvel gets to like handle like they kind of like split all the responsibilities, but Marvel still gets like final say on some of the script stuff just for like continuity because like it's still part of a universe of like so many other franchises and shit. And I forgot where I was going with this. I guess that means it was a lie.
It was a lie.
Yeah, I guess so. I can't fucking remember.
I think you were just saying that Disney, I don't know, Spider-Man's in. You said it's in a weird, whatever, divorced parent.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
I guess I don't. This might not be where I was going with it, but because for a while it's been like people have been unsure if like this was like the last Spider-Man movie in this universe, and having after knowing it was like the multiverse thing, that was even more of a like reason for concern because it's like, well, that's a pretty easy way for Sony to explain like, yep, Spider-Man went back to a different universe now. Like he's gone now, which wouldn't have been the end of the world. Like Spider-Man's Spider-Man. Like I don't need him interacting with wizards and fucking billionaires to like it's fine, but he's still part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say is Sony, if it's a non-Spider-Man movie, like if it's like Venom, for example, you know they've been making Venom movies. Like they can put those out all they want, and they're not part of the Marvel stuff because it's like they own the film rights. It's just they have a deal with Marvel and Disney to share the film rights for specifically the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
But they've been putting out like a fucking movie. It's like basically this will be next month, January will be the third Spider-Man related movie to come out in 3 months. Because they put out Venom 2 in November, and maybe October, I can't remember. Late October, early November. This came out a couple days ago. Then they're putting out another Spider-Man villain movie, which they've been fucking butchering. They've been making the Spider-Man villains into like anti-heroes, like Venom. You know Venom, the fucking evil guy who eats people's brains and shit. The evil space monster. Yeah, he eats people. He's like a fucking evil symbiote that takes control of a normal guy, and that's like the whole moral thing of it's like I can't control like what's happening to me when the symbiote takes over.
Right.
But in these, like Venom's been like a goofy space monster who's like he eats people, but it's for comic effect type shit.
Oh yeah.
It's like I only eat bad guys, okay, and then it's like the whole thing.
Right.
Like, I want to eat more people. It's like no, we eat bad people. And so it's like goofy Venom, which it's kind of okay, I guess. Like Venom's kind of been in this.
Not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. Like movies aren't good, in my opinion, but like, sure, why not? But they're doing the same thing with Morbius now, which is like, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man villain ever. He's like this. It's kind of weird because it makes no sense. He's a vampire, so it's like, why the fuck would Spider-Man be fighting a vampire? But he's like, he always asks Spider-Man like the deep moral questions about like certain shit, and he always just like, whenever it's a Spider-Man Morbius like comic, I don't read comics that much, but I know I've been like given like synopsis and shit, and just knowing what I know based on like what I've been told is like, so I call him my favorite Spider-Man villain. I've never actually like experienced him fully, so maybe I should probably actually do that. But I don't read comics, so I'm too lazy. But
Yeah.
like they're making a fucking Morbius movie, and he's like, it's gonna be like the trailer. He's just some goofy vampire guy. It's the same thing as Venom. I'm like, dude.
Oh, that's silly.
Like, I don't know.
I get. Oh, hey, do you mind if I run over and help my mom clip her cat's nails real quick?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be like right back. But they're getting so long.
Yeah, I might go get some food real quick.
She's calling me right now. Okay, I'll go.
Alright.
I'll be right back.